Back during World War II, enemies bombed a war cruiser carrying 300 crew members. As the ship sank into frigid water, the crew floundered in the sea for 6 days. They were starving, drowning, and being attacked by sharks. The ocean current pulled 9 of the guys away, splintering off from the rest of the ranks. Seeing these 9 men were starting to lose their will, a young officer started asking them about their families and lives back at home. He asked them to describe what they were going to do when they got back. He asked them what they wanted to accomplish and what difference they wanted to make in their communities. He had them envision how scared and frightened their spouses and children were, how their parents must feel not knowing if they were alive. He asked them to fight to stay alive, not just for themselves, but for their loved ones back at home. Finally, a passing bomber spotted the men in the water and eventually rescued them. All other 291 men died. Only the 9 inspired by that young officer lived. This story helps illustrate the importance of vision. The Bible explains, where there is no vision, the people perish. What is the vision of your life? It needs to be bigger than yourself. What are you willing to fight for? Who are you willing to fight for, or rather, live for? Hello, this is Darren Hardy, and I will help you answer some life-changing questions. What's your grander purpose in life? What really motivates and excites your passion? What will keep that passion burning long enough for you to achieve your wildest and most outrageous goals? Do you remember all the big dreams that you had when you were younger? Dreams so exciting that you could barely wait to grow up so that you could pursue them. You had those dreams for a reason. Your inner potential was casting a vision of what was possible for you. Somewhere along the travels, trials, and tribulations of life, you either forgot your goals, got distracted, or believed the others who had already lost their dream and convinced you that yours wasn't possible either. I want to help you rekindle those dreams and show you that they're not only possible, but attainable. I want to show you the path that will lead you directly and expeditiously to them. It reminds me of a story about a large, majestic mountainside where there was a fragile eagle's nest that rested. The eagle's nest contained 4 large eagle eggs. And one day, an earthquake rocked the mountain, causing one of the eggs to tumble down the mountain to a chicken farm located in the valley below. By instinct, the chickens knew that they must protect and care for the egg, so an old hen volunteered to nurture this unusual large egg. One day, the egg hatched, and out came a beautiful eagle. But the eagle was raised to be a chicken. Soon, the eagle believed that he was nothing more than a chicken. The eagle loved his home and his family, but his spirit cried out for more. While playing a game on the farm with some of his chicken friends one day, the eagle looked to the skies above and noticed a group of mighty eagles soaring in the sky. Oh, the eagle cried, "I wish I could soar like those birds." The chickens roared with laughter. "You cannot soar with those birds. You're a chicken. Chickens do not soar." The eagle continued staring at the skies above at his real family, dreaming that he could be with them. Each time the eagle would let his dreams be known, he was told it couldn't be done. The eagle, after time, stopped dreaming and continued to live his life like a chicken. Finally, after a long life as a chicken, the eagle died, a chicken. What's the moral of the story? If you listen to the chickens around you, you will live and die like them, a chicken. Inside you is that eagle. How do I know? You wouldn't be on this blog or watching this video if something inside you didn't connect with it. This is your call to soar. You are an eagle. It is time to follow your dreams and not the words of chickens. I am often asked what common traits I observe as I interview and get to know many of today's super achievers. Are you interested in the answer? My answer is quick because those commonalities are shared by nearly 100% of top achievers. The 2 strategies used by almost all great achievers are, 1, a relentless commitment to constant learning, and number 2, clearly written goals with their plans laid out to achieve them. It has been said that a life without a plan is an insane life. Certainly, living life without a destination in mind and a plan to get you there is a recipe for disaster, no doubt. The time to get the map is before you go walking into the woods. So here's a question for you. If you knew that devoting a couple of hours of time could multiply the results in your life by 10 times over the results of all your peers, competitors, family members, and neighbors, and what they produce in their lives 10 times more than what you are likely to achieve without defining your goals on paper, would you do it? Would it be worth it? It's an easy answer, but it's easier said than done. Let me outline a couple of compelling advantages that having clearly designed goals gives you. Number one, the killer advantage of speed. No matter your background, education, current level of success, if you master the skills and process that I will take you through, you can instantly gain an advantage over everyone else around you. You can start to access more of the grand potential within yourself and achieve only in a few months or a year what might take others their entire lifetime to accomplish. You can accomplish vastly more in a shorter period of time than you ever imagined. The speed will amaze both you and the people around you. I have seen many people with average intelligence run circles around supposed geniuses. The one who learns the skill of effective goal achieving can go on to become far more wealthy, successful, and happy than many geniuses who don't even know what they really want. Put it this way, a genius will still get lost in a foreign country without a map. Even a numbskull will arrive at the destination faster if they have and follow the map. The key point? Have a map of where you want to go. Are you starting to see the advantages of clearly plotted goals tied to your ambitions? Let me take you to number two. Discovering your indomitable inner power. Have you tried before and failed? After your initial excitement to make change or grow and go for it, have you found it difficult to stay motivated long enough to see your goal through? Not to worry, this time can be different. This time I can help you find your unconquerable inner power, drive, and unrelenting passion. No, it's not your greater willpower, it's your why power. The kind of power that will drive you to move mountains, swim oceans, and walk through fire to accomplish your goals. Let me pull an analogy that I used in my book, The Compound Effect, to make this clear. If I were to put a 10-inch, 30-foot long plank on the ground here and say, if you walk the length of the plank, I'll give you $20. Would you do it? Of course, it's an easy 20 bucks. But what if I took that same plank and made a rooftop bridge between two 100-story buildings, and the wind is whipping and the birds are flying? What if I offered you the same $20 for walking across that sky-high plank? Would you do it now? You'd probably look at me and say, no way. However, what if your child was on the opposite building and that building was on fire and the flames were licking at their neck? And if you didn't go across, they would certainly perish and die. Would you walk across that plank to save him or her? Likely your answer would be absolutely and immediately, $20 or not. Why is it the first time I asked you to cross that sky-high plank, you said, no way? Yet the second time you wouldn't even hesitate. The risks and the dangers were the same. What changed? Your why changed. Your reason for wanting to do it changed. You see, when the reason is big enough, you will be willing to perform almost anyhow. Here's a story to help illustrate this. In the Andes Mountains, there were two warring tribes that not so peacefully coexisted, one that lived in the lower lands and the other in the high mountains. One day, the mountain people invaded the lowlanders and plundered and kidnapped a baby from the village. They vanished with the child and took her back up into the mountains. The lowlanders, pushed to action at the disappearance of one of their own, didn't know how to climb the mountain. They didn't know any of the trails that the mountain people used, and they didn't know where to find the mountain people or how to track them into the steep terrain. Even so, they sent their best party of fighting men to climb the mountain and bring the baby home. The first men tried one method of climbing and then another. They tried one trail and then another. After several days of effort, however, they had climbed only a few hundred feet. Feeling hopeless and helpless, the lowlander men decided that the cause was lost, and they prepared to return to their village below. As they were packing their gear for the descent, they saw the baby's mother walking toward them. They realized that she was coming down the mountain that they hadn't figured out how to climb. They saw that she had the baby strapped to her back. How could that be? One man greeted her and said, "We couldn't climb this mountain. How did you do this when we, the strongest and most able men in the village, couldn't do it?" She looked intently at them and said, "It wasn't your baby." The power of your why is what gets you to stick through the grueling, mundane, and the laborious. All of the hows will be meaningless until your whys are powerful enough. Until you've set your desire and motivation in place, you'll abandon any new path that you seek to your better life. If your why power your desire isn't great enough. The fortitude of your commitment won't be powerful enough, and you'll end up like every other person who makes a New Year's resolution and gives up too quickly and reverts back to living a life of ho-hum and mediocrity. But not you, not anymore, right? The person who has a clear, compelling, and white-hot burning reason why will always defeat even the best of the best at doing the how. We see this reality played out repeatedly. It's where greatness and extraordinary achievement comes from. It's time that we unlock that deep-seated passion and embolden you with the indomitable power and fortitude of your why power. In a couple of weeks, I will show you a program that will give you the keys to unlocking it. Until then, have you ever wondered how all this goal setting and achieving really works? It can seem sort of voodoo, like from a distance, explained only by the genie in a bottle type of scenario. Well, if you've had that thought before, and I know that you have, in the next video, I will explain how goal setting actually works and the more elusive process to actually achieving those goals. I'll see you back here next Tuesday. In the meantime, if you are finding any value in this free video series, please be sure to pass it along to others. Thank you in advance.